I brought a cocktail.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of 5D, the podcast where 5 people from around the world get together very professionally and achieve their goals through accountability. Now, what was quite funny about starting off this is I have to press a button to say start broadcast, right? And then we all stay quiet and then we do the countdown. And just before I pressed the countdown, all I heard was Harmony say, "I've got a cocktail," I think she said, or something on those lines. But when the music kicked in, all I heard her say was, "I got a cock." Ding, 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 ding.
There are so many sound bites of me just like spitting some words out that can be clipped up and like turned into something for sure.
Yeah. So on this episode, Harmony is a chick with a dick, and that's how we're going to start this episode. This week we're going to be talking about independence. To all our American friends over there, happy Independence Day. Harmony's going to tell us what that means, how you celebrate it, and all that razzmatazz. If you are watching us on YouTube, please come in and get on the comments and ask Harmony lots of questions about independence. And we're going to be talking what independence means to us. I think that's where we're going this week. We're just making it up as we go along. I've got no notes wrote down. It is going to be a great episode because that's when the episodes thrive, which is when you don't do any research. So, guys, starting off with Lee, how's your week been?
Oh, mate, fucking incredible. Now, I don't know if you recall this time last week when I was in my upper abode, there are some slight changes. That wall is grey. And see the paneling? I mean, you might not be able to see it because I'm blurred, but we've got paneling.
Yeah.
The painting is nearly done. I'm surrounded by and glue.
That's not what that looked like to me.
Coming on.
I'm so proud. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So how's your knees, Lee? Because you doing all this work and that yesterday, you look like an elephant knee you had there.
Yeah, I felt like that bloke. What was his name? The bloke Elephant Man. John, was it John something?
Is it from just doing all the work up in the loft?
Yeah. I just noticed I got a blister on my knee. Yeah. So a couple of weeks back, where the staircase is, there was a ladder because we couldn't get the staircase in. They ordered it. Blah blah blah. So I was climbing up the ladder to give the boys a cup of tea, and we had the old banister in, so it had like a T-top, so it would stick out higher at the top than it would below. And as I was climbing up the ladder, I boshed my knee on it. I was like, fucking hell. So that sort of bruised a little bit. And then a week later, it was probably less than a week later, I started playing rugby again. And I scored a try. And then I fell on it. So that sort of made it even worse. And of course, I've just been doing all the skirting board, the architrave, and all this boarding behind me, constantly on my knees. And it just
froze.
It's gone down a little bit now. A little bit, but it's still swollen. But yeah, man, it's just, the price you pay for fucking progress, isn't it?
Me and Harmony's just laughing there because through that conversation, Lee, you just froze about 3 times, and every time I just went froze. And then
but you know what's awesome is he froze right at the end of a sentence.
Yeah, every time. You froze at one stage, you bent down, you goes, "Yeah, the room is full of," and you bent down to pick someone up, and then we're like, "What? What's it full of? What's it full of?" And next minute you turn up with it looked like a flare or a giant dildo or something.
That's exactly what I thought. I thought it's either a flare, a Roman candle, or some kind of a sex toy.
What about you, Harmony? How's your week been?
It's been great. I've been doing a lot of things. I've had an epiphany on my e-recipe book, so it's given me a little bit more fire under my ass to start working on it. So that's kind of been my highlight, I think. I felt like I was dragging my feet on it, and I couldn't quite understand why. And I think it's because though I love all of the food I had intended to put in the e-recipe book, it's not aligning with what I'm eating right now. So I've just decided, I've had an epiphany. I'm going to gear this e-recipe book towards women that deal with fibroids, which there's, a large portion of them, and people don't talk about it. Like, I didn't know what fibroids were until 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna gear it towards food that will help to keep them healthy with their fibroids, and then possibly potentially shrink their fibroids naturally without having to get an unnecessary, like, go under the knife and get a hysterectomy.
I think you're
That's
totally
amazing.
I think you're totally onto a winner there, Harmony, because
Me
when we were
too.
talking this the other day, you know, you're super niching down on a subject where a lot of people have to deal with, and
Mhm.
you are making good from a bad episode, if you know what I mean. And
Mhm.
you are trying to inspire people and help people that it's not just all about going out taking medicine. You know,
Yeah.
go down that route if you have to later on, but before you do, try lots of new things. You know, try changing your diet and try. I don't know what you have to do, but I'm well pleased with, you know, the way the direction you're taking that. Well proud of you.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's really interesting. As like the first port of call is always medicine. Well, that should be the last resort. You know, we should
Well, I
always
think
do.
I'm pissed off a little bit, Lee, because I love my doctor and they're great and everything, and they're top rated doctor in the whole western state of North Carolina. So the fact that the fact that I go in, and though they're great and everything, but their first words out of their mouth was, "You've got three options: an IUD, which is insertion of hormone. They're giving me hormones, which I don't want." Because I don't, if it ain't broke, you know, I don't want to. There's side effects to adding hormones to your body. They can be terrible. Or I can take a pill, which are hormones. Or they said you can get a partial hysterectomy. You can keep your ovaries. They're like, you can keep your ovaries. It'll be robotic. It's fine.
We'll give you those. You can keep those.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I was like, what? No, that's it. Those are my options. And so I just started, because I'm fearful of going under the knife and fearful of getting hormones. And I'm so close to going into menopause in the next 10, 15 years. Once I start going into menopause, even perimenopause, the estrogen basically feeds these tumors so that they grow traditionally in your baby making years. So from 20 to 40, they'll grow. That estrogen feeds those tumors. And a lot of women don't know they even have them because they don't have any side effects from them. But for the women who do, if they can hold out from doing something intense until they get a little older and the estrogen naturally dies down, or possibly get, add testosterone to their daily regimen, then those will shrink on their own and they won't have to go. Because for me, getting even a partial hysterectomy robotically, there's still a lot of, you can have bowel issue, like they can sever another organ. Like, they're very common, these issues. Basically their bladders prolapse. So, because those where they're going in and taking out all this stuff, that's what's holding up a woman's bladder. There's just a whole slew of issues, plus 6 weeks out of work. I can't lift anything. I can't do anything for 6 weeks. Well, I won't be covered by anything. It means I'm not making any money for 6 weeks. So there's just the potential for so many things to go wrong that I think it just made me a little upset, to get back to my point, that nobody said, "Hey, Harmony, what are you eating? Do you exercise? How much water do you drink? Do you have any stress at home? Like, let's check your hormone levels and see if there's something we can do there." Like, nobody brought it up. And I was like, no, fuck that. I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to think outside the box, and I'm going to do my due diligence, everything I can do naturally. And then help women in the process. And I got into that fibroid. It's a natural healing fibroid group on Facebook. There's tens of thousands of women in there that are struggling so desperately. They don't want to get surgery. They don't want to lose their women parts. Some of these women are like 20, 30 years old. Of course, they still want to have babies, so there's just all this stuff. And I thought, oh my God. And I'm not trying to make, it's not like I'm like, oh, ching ching, but also at the same time, I'm like ching ching, because if I can go in there and offer them information that has been helping me, and I've felt valid like results from just in a short amount of time, then of course I now have a fire under my ass, because I'm like, oh my God, all the women I can help if they knew just to eliminate certain things from their diet, and it will help.
Yeah.
So super pumped, as you can tell.
Yeah. I've had a really, sorry, Lee. Go on, mate. Go on.
Yeah, I came to the same conclusion with the whole depression thing, and I pontificate and rant on Voxer about it all. And you go to the doctors and you feel like shit, and they just, oh, have some sertraline, 500 milligrams of this, that, and the other. Rather than going, right, what does your diet look like? What does your exercise regime look like? What's going on at home?
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking beyond. And I've joined many groups on Facebook, and I find that the whole depression scene there's a negative echo chamber around it, because you join all these Facebook groups and you try and G up other people, and the first thing you see in the morning is, don't forget to take your medication. You just think that is not fucking helping. What are you doing? Go for a run. Stop eating that shit. supplement your diet to bring up your levels of
Serotonin.
the feel good drug, serotonin. Thank you.
Endorphin. Endorphins.
Yeah, it's like there's so
Endorphins.
many other things you can do as opposed to just take your medication. Fuck
Well,
off.
it's so normal. It's so normal, people, and it's easier. Like, it's just easier for people to be like, sure, I'll just take a pill.
And straight away, us talking here about, this episode is about independence. I mean, this is rolling straight into the topic here now, about us finding out our own independence, not relying on doctors and drugs and all that, like going down the independent route. So it's
Exactly.
to the week. I've had a fantastic week last week, probably the best week I've had in a long, long time. Oh, hold on.
Coming in from the International Space Station.
Here he is Mork.
Hey,
Good evening, Mork.
Howard.
Yes.
Fuck you.
It's not. No, I'm giving my high and low of the week there, Howard. It's not all about you. You're gonna have to sit back and wait your turn, mate. Are you happy
I
with
take
that?
that as a sign of love.
There's
I'll sit back.
There's much love in this room. No, I've had a fantastic week, guys. It mainly started off a shit start to the week, and Lee changed it for me. His expert coaching really made me feel good.
I loved listening to those check-ins. Those were so great.
I've been having a lot of things getting me down behind the scene. As from a little boy, I was always told that I was going to come into some inheritance, and I'm not going to tell the world about it now. But basically, a lot of things are happening my way, and it's got me down a little bit. And Lee kind of said to me, he said, look, rather than looking at your inheritance, why not look at it and try and devise a way that you can make that money in the near future without relying on inheritance? And I was just like, I fucking totally love that. And it's not just about inheritance. I've looked at myself in the last week and I thought, do you know what? I'm just bitching and moaning about my life and how hard done by I am and this and that. It's time for me, right, to change things and for me to fucking, start winning things and grabbing the bull by the horns and kicking the shit out of it. And for the last, I don't know how long I've been moaning about my weight, saying that I can't get below 15 stone. It's time to change things. And I've decided that I need to get back to doing some regular exercise, running. And I entered a half marathon, which I think I told you about last week. And on yesterday, I went out for my first jog, which I was surprised how well I felt, to be honest with you. I'd done just over 2.5 miles. Had a little bit of struggle with Strava trying to work that out, but yeah, got the ball rolling. Really, really pleased with it. Today's my rest day, and then tomorrow I'm going to get out there and try and get 3 miles under my belt tomorrow.
Well, I don't know if it helps you. I'm not trying to be egotistical by saying, "Oh, I'll help you," but I want to run it virtually.
Cool. Let's do it.
Same day.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's great. What we'll do is we can do some training together. We're at the other part of the world, but it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't. We're on Strava together, so
yeah, you can set these Strava groups, can't you? And you can do stuff together in Strava groups. And
I love it. I love Strava.
They've got challenges, isn't they? I've looked at it like in July, you can do like a 5K challenge and a 10K challenge and a half marathon challenge. So I'm just really, really looking forward to it. It's the first time in a long time I've been like, I wanted to go out today, and I thought, nope. I'm going to wait till tomorrow because I'm a little bit achy. I don't want to get injured. You don't want to be doing too much too soon.
Speaking of that, I wanted to ask you, you guys know probably from just because I've told you, and then you've probably seen it when I posted on Instagram, but I have a left brace that I wear on my left ankle. Do you wear anything like that to protect your knees or your ankles?
I have got a brace that I'm going to be digging out because that's what I was going to say is that we make excuses. Oh, I'm getting too old to go running now. My ankle's fucked. I shouldn't be doing running. And then I was like looking at myself thinking, shut up. It's all again excuses again. So I've dug out my braces and I didn't wear it yesterday, but I am wearing it when we go out tomorrow. And can I also say something else as well is you've got to grab the bull by the horns and you've got to do things that fucking scare you. And that's the way I'm looking at things now. I'm just going to, this weekend, me and George are doing a 36-mile walk for the next part of our coastal challenge. We're walking from Charlestown where they film
Poldark.
So me and George are going to be walking from Poldark County, right the way down to Falmouth, and it's 36 miles, and we are sleeping under the stars in our bivvy bags again. So
Oh,
not even
that
in a
sounds
tent.
so fun.
So excited. And
fun.
I looked at the weather today, and they don't forecast any rain whatsoever, and it's going to be scorchio all the way through. So
Scorchio.
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 got a little bit of a boner already.
I love it.
What, the
That's
boner
awesome.
or the walk?
I like boners. I mean, I'm single, so yeah, I love boner. I think about boners now more than I should, probably.
Talking of boners, Howard, how's your week been? that just went straight to plan. That did. How's your week been, Howard?
Perfect.
Well, I wake up with boners, so I guess it's been pretty good. So on that one.
What's the story, Morning Glory?
Howard's got to back down the hallway so he don't knock any pictures off the wall.
Watch your head, duck. He's turning. Yeah, its week has gone well. Week has gone very, very well. Just
Fucking
working.
Polvo into the bathroom.
I'm getting a little flush, y'all. It's been a long time since I've had sex. I mean, you got to be careful what you say around me. I'll start getting all worked up.
It's not polvo, and he's got like his middle leg's like a pogo stick, isn't it? Is that how you bounce around? Like, is that-
Ouch.
Shit, what is it? Sammy just turned 3, so do the math on how long I've had sex. So
Come on, how's
Oh,
your
well.
week been? Tell us how's your week.
Oh,
'Cause you're
it's
excited.
going
news.
really well. I'm taking a sip of the sample of pre-workout here.
Oh, yay. We got something new. I'm so excited.
It's fruit punch, which is not bad. This is the bottle here. It's just a generic
Howard,
thing.
Howard's urine.
I can't
Howard's
wait to
urine.
try it.
So it's
I
got
thought that's a
each
French
scoop
polish
is
then.
12 and a half grams. I will say I did take your advice, Mark, from your check-in on Saturday morning about getting the vials, like the little individual. So I went on Amazon, and I think for like $20-something, I ordered like 50 plastic vials that have a screw top. And
Yep.
so I can use a little funnel to put it in there. And then I ordered some like business cards that I can just
Nice.
like blank, so I can write on like what it is. And I've reached out to the gym, a local gym nearby. You know, it's the holiday, so they're not gonna. So I'm just asking, hey, do you mind if I just come there, and then anybody's interested, they can, I can give out samples. The only thing I ask is that you just give me feedback on what you like.
You've
That's
got to record,
awesome.
You've got to record this on YouTube as well, mate. You've got to just start, asking.
Yeah,
questions.
I
Make
will ask if they will let me record in the gym, which I'm sure it's a the guy owns it, so I don't think he's gonna have a problem with it. But it's not,
It's not like a
commercial
corporate
gym.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
So yeah, it was good. I
Amazing.
tried. I went to the July 4th. I just got back from the July 4th party at my parents'
The
house.
carnival?
No, it wasn't a carnival this time. It was a pool party. I wanted to ask Lee's question to people there, because these are active adult communities, so they're older people. And it ended up that I was able to ask 2 ladies the question. They didn't want to be on the camera, so I couldn't record it. But I still asked them, and they couldn't answer the question. They didn't know. So it's good all around. It's a good week.
Big
That's
love there.
good. I'm excited.
Big love there to Rodney. He's laid in bed at the moment, listening to us all talking about independence and boners.
Independent bonus.
Well, I don't know if he's laying in bed with a boner, listening to us talk. I don't know what he's saying,
He's
but
laying face down several feet off from the bed.
It's just spinning.
yeah, well,
As people walk past him, they just slap his legs and he spins.
Well,
Yeah.
get some rest, Rodders.
get some rest, Rodney. So, what's it taste like? What 3 flavors have you got there, Howard? What's your favorite?
Well, the one that's the closest to what is on the label to me is the orange. It tastes the closest to actual orange. This is fruit punch, which is pretty good. It's not bad. And then the sour gummy is the third one, and that's good as well. But I think the closest to what's actually what it says is the orange. I think it's
When
the
you mail
closest
me a
actually.
sample, mail me the sour gummies.
All right, and I'll send it to you.
Sure.
I'll send you all 3 if you want. But if you just
Oh,
want
yeah.
one, I'll send you the
Yeah,
sour
I'll do it.
gummy.
I'll do a whole TikTok. I'll make a reel and stuff on it.
Do you know
They
what?
gave, like this right here, they sent me like 6 of these, 3 of each version. So I've got like a whole boatload. I can't get the whole boatload of powder they sent me. So I was
you-
pleased with that, because usually it's like they'll send you like 2 samples and it's like, no, it's not enough to try it, but
Do you think it's a wise thing sending powder through the post to Harmony?
I actually looked it up, And USPS says as long as it's a legal substance, it's okay. Because I was nervous about that. Like, oh shit, are they going to like confiscate it? And they're not going to be able to. And as long as they said it's not like a hazardous material, you can send. Which is why I got the plastic vials as well to seal it up, so wouldn't people not think, oh my gosh, it's anthrax or something like that, spilling everywhere. And then I got the FBI coming to my damn door.
Yeah, I just had visions of you coming home one day, and all of a sudden your house is all, the FBI's there, and they think that you're fucking a coke or something like that.
FBI, everybody on the floor.
Sending powder to the half Mexican in North Carolina.
I was just gonna say, there's powder and it's got Garcia written on it. And they go,
Anyway, people. Anyway, Howard, you might better help Harmony out here because this episode is about independence, and we're talking about independence this week because it is Independence Day over there in the States, the 4th of July. I thought it was a film that I've never seen before. But what exactly is an Independence Day over in America? What does it mean to you guys? How do you celebrate it? What do you do? It's something that involves the British, you getting it all in a shit apparently and fucking running off, I think. But you'll do it more justice than that, I'm sure. Tell me, mate.
Well, it is a good movie. I remember seeing it in the movie theater.
Today is our Independence Day.
I forgot, was it Bill Pullman was the guy that played?
I love him.
I don't know, but if you put an impression there, Howard, I guarantee it don't sound fuck all like that.
I hope my history is correct. The Independence Day marks the day that the Declaration of Independence was signed, basically telling the King of England to fuck himself. We're doing our own thing. That's what it celebrates. Not the Constitution. The Constitution was 1787. It's 1776.
Well, I'm kind of thinking perhaps me and Lee could have our own Independence Day today and tell Boris to go fuck himself. What do you reckon, Lee?
Absolutely.
Today, me and Lee went independent. Boris Johnson.
Sovereign. We are sovereign.
Yes. So how do you guys celebrate it over in America then? What do you do?
Mostly barbecues and fireworks and copious amounts of alcohol.
Copious.
I can hear the copious amounts of alcohol being drank right now outside at the pool.
Yeah, I saw a meme today. It was hilarious. It was like, what? I don't want to botch it, but I will. It's just something about kids walking around with flames in their hands while their parents get wasted. Essentially, that was it in a nutshell. Yeah, a lot of meat is consumed, a lot of baked beans, potato salad, coleslaw, ribs, hot dogs, hamburgers, macaroni salad. A lot of shots are being taken, a lot of moonshine being drank, a lot of people getting lit.
Just as well I ain't American then, because it'd be a pretty shit day for me because I don't drink and I don't eat meat.
They're following what's called the SAD diet, the standard American diet.
Yeah.
The SAD diet. It's pretty much how it is every day. And people setting off fireworks that are inexperienced, and then you can see like on TikTok, whatever, the X-ray images of people's hands being blown apart.
And, I saw that. Did you see Rogan post that?
They're
was
idiots.
it Rogan that posted that?
I saw somebody who may have reposted it from Joe Rogan, but yeah, my dad had to deal with that when he worked for the federal government, taking those companies to court because like the fireworks wouldn't work properly and would blow people's hands off and stuff. And don't shoot fireworks, people. It's a stupid idea.
Yeah, fireworks are beautiful, and I did grow up loving fireworks. I mean, Disney has that market cornered. They put on a hell of a fireworks show, but. And I grew up loving them, but now you get to a point where like Marabella has been terrified the whole last 3 days and I can't even take her to the school because there's between the gunshots that are going off. And then we've had a little bit of afternoon storm. So there's been thunder and then there's been fireworks going off and she's scared to death of them. So I for a large portion of the first night, I went out thinking this was far enough away from the 4th. I think it was like Thursday or Friday night. They started shooting off guns back where I go run. And I had to pick her up and carry her until she got to the point where her inner GPS kicked in and she's like, okay, I think my mom's car is over there because she does do that. And then she just took off and I just ran behind her because she's been in my bed for the last few days. She barely wants to go outside to pee. So it's sad. I mean, not to mention there's a meme going around. I mean, times they are a change and I hate to be a fucking stick in the mud because I love fireworks, but it affects I didn't know it affected bumblebees. And then obviously all that shit goes in the water. So it affects our sea life. And it apparently disorients bees. I mean, there's a whole slew of things that they do, but people aren't going to stop buying fireworks. Let's face it.
Up the bees, up the bees. I suppose it's one small thing that you have to
Yeah,
take.
you say up the bees, you fucking vegetarian. What are you going to eat when all the bees are gone?
Hmm?
You said fuck the bees.
No, I said up
Nope,
the
up the
bees.
bees.
Oh, it's like fuck the bees. What do you get? The bees pollinate your food. You're a vegetarian. You'll be screwed with up the bees.
That's what I'm saying. Up the bees. I love the bees, and that's the name of the Brentford, my football team. Their nickname's the Bees. So
Oh,
up
yeah,
the
that's
bees,
right.
we'll say up the bees. So yeah, no, I
It's-
love the bees.
It's un-American to not like bees.
Yeah, bees are awesome.
You're
fucking-
un-American if you don't like
They
bees.
really, really, really do fascinate the shit out of me. Bees.
Like
The
I
whole,
would.
yeah, they're amazing, amazing creatures. So we can't get rid of them.
Except for when they fly in the window. You know, they fly in the open window and
They
then just
can't-
do this against the glass. And it's like, just go left.
Yeah.
And you come in the same. You go out the same way as you come in. You dopey fucker.
Yeah, what's Rodney having to say? He's just said here's something in now. He said, fireworks are great at the park, done professionally. Everybody blowing firecrackers and fireworks all damn day and night is annoying as a dyslexic person saying fuck.
Agree, Rodders. Agree.
Mm.
Fight.
Isn't it funny though when you think about it? We're so like this is global. This isn't just specific to America because every country's fucked in its own right and beautiful in its own right. I don't want to be, hating on America. America's awesome. I'm very blessed to have grown up here. But if you think about all the rules we have in place for this, that, and the other thing, and then you've just got these giant tents set up different times out of the year for people from all walks of life, unfortunately, that just come and they drop money that they don't fucking have and they buy a bunch of explosives and then they're just free to go shoot them however they see fit. Is that not just bizarre when you think about it?
Yeah. I like what you said there when you said, isn't it funny? I got a flashback then because my uncle used to say to me when he was alive, isn't it funny? Bees like honey. Buzz, buzz, buzz. I wonder how it does.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Where's that from?
I fuck knows. It just came into my head when you said, isn't it funny? I was just like, and we were talking about bees and that just came into my head. So I had to share it with you. But yeah, so we're talking about independence this week, guys. And I don't know if why are we talking about independence, Harmony? How are we talking about it? You use
Well,
the
it kind of hit my head because I thought, well, I know, we're going to be recording on a holiday. It's a huge holiday in America, obviously. But I, again, am not like, I don't know much about it. I'm not super into history. I think a lot of our history is skewed. There's a lot of history that, again, globally, I'm not trying to pick on America today on its birthday, but there's just a lot of things left out. There's a lot of things that are a part of my heritage. I'm 24. I just missed the mark where I could get a check, but I'm 24% Native American out of the Oaxaca tribe, which is in Mexico. So I am actually, even though on paper, I'm half Mexican, and it would appear as though I'm from immigrant family. I was actually here long before most of these motherfuckers. My ancestors were. But so instead of making it specific to America, I thought it would be really cool to just use the theme of independence because it's 4th of July and talk about independence, what that means to us individually in our own life, and how hard it is to get, and why it's so important to have it.
Mm. Well, I'll start if you want, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Independence to me, I mean, where did it all start from us? Did it start from when the day we was born? Did it start from the day we was able to walk, open our eyes and see? Did it start when we was able to drive? I mean, all of the above, really. But the last week has really, 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 really made me open my eyes up to a lot of things, and I can't say enough about you guys at the moment because you really, really helped me in the last week. Lots and lots, and it really has got me given me a kick up the ass to stop moaning and bitching and to get out there and just have some fucking fun. And when I was talking, prime example, we went down to Padstow the weekend, and the boys were going crabbing with a friend of ours, and I was sat on the sofa and I was getting a bit pissy with the missus because she volunteered me to take the kids down to Padstow. And I didn't want to do it because I don't like heights, right? I do not like heights, and we're right on the harbour, and it's quite a big drop. And when somebody doesn't like heights, they don't like people around the edge of a cliff, kind of thing. It scares me being there, and I hate it. And I was a little bit nervous, and I didn't want to be there, and I was a little bit pissed because she suggested me going while she stayed back. And then I just said to myself, "For fuck's sake, man, let's just go and have some fun." Don't worry about the heights thing. Just go. And if I fall in the water, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? It's going to make people laugh. And that's the way I'm looking at things now. Go in and having fun. Don't be frightened of anything. Just go and just see what happens, and just go with the flow. And
well, I have to say really quick, I'm thinking the White Cliffs of Dover, and those are pretty high up. So that's more than making somebody laugh. These were not that high, I'm assuming.
No, we're talking about the harbour, which is probably about 20-foot maximum.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm thinking those big cliffs that they show on those British television shows, and they pan out, and they're so beautiful. It's like, part of the storyline. Somebody drops and dies.
What I'm getting at is it's just easy to make excuses for everything all the time. I'm too old, I can't run. I've got a bad ankle, I can't run. It's it's just making excuses all the time. And I think at some stage we do find our inner self. We realise we've been bitching and moaning. And I think that we all, that's when we discover our independence. When we discover who we are, what our purpose is. And, the last week we've been talking on Voxer about the whys, the whats, the whos. And we were saying there, Lee, wasn't we, that this can change weekly, monthly, daily, your whys, your whats, and your whos. And when you said to me, do you really know what your purpose is and who you are? This week, I have been properly homed into that, and I can see it more clearly now than I ever have. So big shout out to all you guys for helping me.
What was the turning point, if you don't mind me asking? Like, what do you just think it was timing? It was like you heard it differently. Everything hit differently.
I think it was because we was going on about this inheritance and me possibly losing my inheritance, and Lee saying to me, well, in so many words, rather than bitching and moaning about it, why don't you get off your backside and make your own money? Why do you have to rely on inheritance? And then I was sat there thinking, well, fuck me, I'm being really selfish here now. I'm relying on other people's, a member of my family passing away to give me some money for me to go off and achieve my dreams. And I'm like, I should have been 20, 30 years ago, I should have been putting a plan in action so that, you know what I mean? So that hasn't happened.
It was interesting to see Lee's coaching skills kick in right there and tell you that. It was awesome to be a fly on the wall for that. I was proud of him, and then proud that you received it and it landed really well, and that that clicked for you, that you were, like you said, relying on something that wasn't a guarantee.
Yeah. And now I'm at that stage now where if it comes through, it comes through. If not, I've got something focused in plan now to get that money in the next 10 years anyway. So, it's going to be hard work, but you've got to work hard in life to get where you want to get to, and life is short. So make the freaking most of it. Stop moaning about, I can't take the kids to Padstow in case they fall in the water. If it happens, it happens. Stop making excuses. Just fucking get on with it.
Well, it's something stood out to me when you were talking just now about hard work. And I think that when you tell somebody something's going to be hard, or where they assume there's going to be hard work involved, we immediately kind of, we tense up, because hard work, you say hard work, it's like, fuck, what does that mean? But really, if we were to pinpoint it, hard work is where all the fucking joy lives. Like it might not feel like it lives there while you're doing it, but after the fact, after you've sat down and, all the cards fall where they may, and you look back at what you've accomplished and how you've pushed through something, regardless of what it is that you're working hard at, that's where the joy comes in, is the fact that you can look back and see what you fucking accomplished. I mean, I'm sure Lee felt it. He's in pain. His knee hurts, and he's had all this stuff going on with the loft conversion. And then he turns and looks after he's been working his ass off for, off and on for the last week or so. And he sees everything he's done. I mean, he might not have been thinking that when he was actually doing it, and he was cussing and pissed. I know how it is when you're in a situation like that. But after it was all said and done, and he sat down and he looked at what he had accomplished, like that's the beauty of that shit right there.
Yeah. And another thing as well is, it made me think about, we was talking about when you get your inheritance, you look at your life, how it can change it, and how you can retire early and all that. And I thought to myself, do you know what? We always look at retirement, that when you get to 65, you retire and you that's when your life starts. And I'm thinking, I don't really, that's when do I really want to retire at 65? Am I going to retire at 65? Because I might not be going to work, but that's not me retiring. That's me, I want to be doing stuff for the rest of my life. I don't want to be like my dad, rest in peace, Dad, and for all your amazing things you've done. I don't want to get to 70 and then say, right, that's it. I'm not going to work anymore, and I'm just going to sit at home and do fuck all the time. I don't want to do that. You know, I've got lots and lots of things planned, and will I ever retire? I don't really know. Do I need to retire? You know, I don't really know, but it's gonna, you know, I've got lots of things planned, and really looking forward to the way things are going. So I think really my independence started years ago, you know, years and years and years ago, but it's taken me a good 10, 15, 20 years to wake my ass up.
When you were running, I wanted to, because you know I love to run and I get so in my head. And I had a day the other day, I made a TikTok. I just was running and there's a really good song on. And I just started thinking really quickly that this is the 3rd year and some change that I've been showing up out here. I just felt really good. I just felt really, I had a wave of pride come over me. And I had to stop running and I just wanted to share it. So that's when I made that little TikTok. But me knowing that when you were running yesterday after the first time in what you said, 10 years, did you have moments where you just felt this like awesome endorphin rush?
I felt like, you know, we talk about when you want to do something, you have to become that person, right? And I'm running along the top of the cliffs, quite a popular beach called Constantine, running into Boobies Bay, which is a beautiful bay because it's just called Boobies Bay. And there's not enough boobies to look at, but I'm running along. It's about 20 degrees. And there's people walking along, and one woman looked at me and she goes, "Oh my God," she goes, "What do you get out of running in this heat?" You know, talking to me as she don't know how long I've been running. I could have been running for 20 years. She doesn't know, but I was running along. And at that stage, I felt like I was a runner. I felt like, you know, I felt like I've been running for years and I was proud. So, you know, that yesterday, I can now say that I don't have to say anymore, "Oh, I'd love to start running." I am now a runner. I go on regular runs. I enjoy running. And that was a big change. That made me feel proud yesterday. People acknowledging that I was out in the heat running and, you know, people questioning that. So, yeah, that was what felt good yesterday.
Well, I love that you embrace that too, that you're like, I am a runner. You don't have to be, again, with the longevity thing. You just because yesterday was your first time back after doing it in however many years you were running. So you in fact are a runner. And then to tell yourself that's going to help you moving forward because you've taken on that identity now.
Yeah. And even though I did have problems with Strava at the end there, I was sat in the car sweating my balls off. And I was trying to multitask. I was trying to get this strap off my arm. I was trying to press stop. I was trying to press record, and it just all went wrong and it lost. And I'm like, I can't lose that. That's proof. And I was like, well, do I really need proof that I've been running? You know, I don't need to show it off to the world, but I wanted to because I was proud of what I had just achieved. And, you know, when that little thing happens, it's quite funny looking back on, really.
Well, you fixed it, so that's awesome.
Yeah, Jim will fixed it for me. Yeah. Any advice you can give me, Howard, to start running?
Take it nice and easy. Don't overdo it.
Yeah.
You know, you do get that. And I've done this before where you're going and you're like, okay, I've set myself, I'm going to go like 3.5 miles. Oh, I can go 4.5 or 5 miles easy. And then even though it's still fun, but you could, if you try to do too much in too short a time, you can get injured.
Mm.
And I've had that before. So it's not fun because then you can't do any running for a while and you're like, fuck.
That's why
Literally like, fuck.
The plan that the route that I chose, it was almost like a figure of 8 kind of thing. So that once I'd done the first headland and around and got back to the beginning sort of thing, I could then choose whether I went that way, or that way. And it was all different. And when I got there, I felt quite good. So I just carried on going, like, you know, but no, it's really good. Really, really enjoyed it. So, you know, I can see lots and lots of plans in front of me and my whys and my whos and my whats and my whys and my whens and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, it's really good at the minute, guys.
Another thing is focus on you, right? Don't worry. Like, yeah, I know you're talking about Strava. I've heard of it. I don't use it or anything like that. But, you know, if you see somebody like, oh, they're, you know, going so many miles and maybe they got up to 10 miles or something long before you did, you know, don't focus on them. It's all about you. You go at your own, everybody's got their own pace. And that's eventually you'll get, and I'm sure you know this, eventually you'll find your pace where it's like, okay, if I can go this fast or this slow, however you want to define it, that, you know, I can go a longer distance. But yeah, just focus on your own improvement. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. You know,
I've never gotten into pace. I can tell I'm not a competitive person and as far as running goes, because I've never cared about, I mean, I think it's important to run, but I've always just been so fucking happy that I made it. My tennis shoes got on and I made it somewhere to go actually do something physical that I never really cared about the pace part of it. I mean, I can see why it would be important to people, but I think I've seen a lot of people just get discouraged because they can't get a pace that they think is reasonable or acceptable. And so then they just quit.
Yeah.
It's like,
No,
fuck a
don't-
pace. Like, you should be happy that you're showing up to do it, you know?
Oh yeah.
Well, you are right there, Howard. It is all about me, but this conversation isn't. So let's go over to Lee, who looks like he's going to fall asleep.
He looks like he's in a, like a padded cell. It's all just plain white, no decoration or anything.
What does independence mean to you then, Lee, following on from what I was talking about?
Oh man, this is. I think there's two versions of independence, and when I come to that conclusion based on my journey in life so far. So for me, what does true independence look like? I mean, we talk of independence like having a job, moving out, earning your own money, paying your own bills, and buying your own house. And oh yeah, I'm independent. I have to rely on myself and all the rest of it. Is that real independence, or is real independence having the self-awareness to know that you're the author of your book? You are. Everything that happens is down to your decision. Is true independence spending 60 years fulfilling somebody else's dream, or is it creating a life that you truly love, doing what you do, fulfilling your dream, working for yourself, building your own businesses and all that kind of stuff? So I guess the question is relative, but for me, true independence, and that's something I'm starting to enter this I don't know, environment of independence. I'm creating the life that I want, and I'm trying to build a business that creates a higher level of independence, not just paying bills and all the rest of it, but to be able to write the next chapter, and my life goes that direction instead of allowing external forces to dictate to me what I'm doing. That to me isn't independence. That's being taken on a ride. Well, I want to create the ride. I've talked to a lot of people the last few weeks, and I asked that question, that massive question: what could you do today that you've never done before that will change your life forever? And I get two main answers. One of them is, ha ha, I don't know. And I immediately roll my eyes and I just think, for fuck's sake. The other one is, oh, I could win the lottery. And it really annoys me that people allow their lives to be dictated by external forces and pure luck. And people think that's a plan.
Like
Oh,
me.
That's not a plan. Oh, I hope I win the lottery and then I'll be happy. What you create the money as opposed to waiting to win it. Because we had a conversation the other day. And I was listening to an amazing lady on TikTok Live the other day. I was driving home and I was sending her some messages. And I said, have you ever thought about starting your business? What could you do today? Blah, blah, blah. And she was like, oh, I don't know. I never thought, I don't know. And I just think, stop giving away your power. You're giving away your power to external forces, to chance, to luck, and fulfilling other people's dream. Anyway, it got to the point where I was like getting pissed off with the excuses that this girl was coming out with. I pulled the van over. I got on the live with her and I was like, what the fuck? What do you want to achieve in your life? I don't know. Never thought about it. Life's been really tough.
She brought you into her live?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Life's been really tough. Like, I grew up with not much, and I went, we all did. But stop making excuses. I said, like, what do you love to do? It turns out she loved to draw and she loved to sing. I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you at drawing? Oh, I'd say a 7. Right. You can create a business where you're drawing and selling. You can create courses where you're instructing other people to draw. You can do YouTube videos where you teach other people how to draw. All you're doing is making excuses. You come up with 5 excuses on this call with me. I came from a poor background. I don't know how to do it. I don't have the self-confidence. All these bullshit excuses. That is not independence. Start asking yourself, instead of saying, I can't do that, start saying, how can I do that?
Mm.
So I think there's, for me anyway, there's 2 different levels of independence here. And I think I'm pursuing a higher level of independence. I hope that answers the question anyway.
It's a great answer.
It's funny how people say, don't they? And I hear it all the time that, oh, you know, my family, we've always been poor. We never had any money. Well, whenever we're born,
It's that
none of
perpetual thinking.
none of us have got any money when we're born, and none of us takes any money when we go. It's down to you to make that money. It's down to you to achieve the things that you want in life before you go.
Yeah.
For me, it always comes back to self-awareness. All of it.
One thing,
you know, we've always been poor. All right, well, carry on telling yourself that, and you always will be. You know,
Yeah.
I've always suffered with depression. Carry on telling yourself that, and you're always going to be taking them tablets.
Yep.
I
Very
listened
true.
to an episode today, actually, I was just on my post round listening to a bit of Gary Vee, catching up on some episodes that I haven't heard from a long time. And he was going on about accountability and how amazing accountability is. And if you're in an accountability group, you will achieve more things.
Mm-hmm.
And he was praising big time accountability, telling people to get in accountability groups. And I was listening to it and I was just like, this is fucking fantastic stuff. And say what you want about Gary Vee, the guy talks hell of a lot of sense. And he tells people how it is, how it is. And it's just like, stop talking shit to yourself. You know, it's time for you to wake up and for you to, you know, look at yourself and change the way you to make it to tomorrow better than what you was yesterday. And that's what we got to do, isn't it? Really, really is.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
One thing I'm a little bit aware of at the moment, you know, we're going about self-awareness, is I look like I've got jaundice. I'm looking really yellow.
No, I think you look tan.
Yeah, but under this light, look, and then I go over here, I look like I've got fucking jaundice.
You look like you want entering one of them muscle competitions.
Do it. Do your impression, Howard, of Arnie. Do the pump.
Come on, come on, get to the chopper. We're gonna pump you up. I'll be back.
Oh my God, he's doing all of them.
What happened to him?
I let him go.
Don't-
What was that
Don't-
movie? I forgot
Don't
that
Don't
movie.
forget, it's not a tumor.
It's
We
not
have-
a tumor.
And then he goes, let off some steam at the end of Commando when he throws the pipe to him and he goes,
Richter.
"Shh, let off some steam.
Stick around. Predator. He
Stick
throws it out.
around.
We had one listener there, viewer, and as soon as you started doing your Arnie impression, pop, they've gone in a puff of smoke.
I know we had 5, and they're like,
Can I
I'm
say
going
they
back
were-
to the barbecue.
They were
Yeah.
so impressed with my Arnie impersonation. They would be more impressed with my Mark Jeffrey and Boris Johnson impression, but no.
Save
They
that
have
for
to
the-
they have
Damn,
to
we
pay.
even
That's for
lost
fans.
Rodney.
That's for
I'd say-
fans only.
I tell you what
to
would
get
be
that.
pretty cool one day is if we, because when we used to do our Voxer chat, when we used to do our accountability chatting on Mondays, there, Howard would always go off on a walk. He would always end up just walking randomly, stopping people in the street and asking them if they've ever heard the Mark Jeffrey podcast show and all that stuff. Perhaps this is something that we need to do later on down the line, there, Howard.
That
What-
is that is a topic that I've written down for a future vlog. Like I'm going to ask, do you listen to podcasts? Assuming they say yes. All right. What's your favorite podcast? You know, whatever Joe Rogan say. Have you heard of Mark Jeffrey podcast? You know, he's the
Well,
Joe
avoiding
Rogan
the
of
traffic.
England.
what was it? I'm the budget Joe Rogan.
Oh God, can you imagine? Like the last 5 minutes is always Howard going out his apartment down the road.
Mark is
Just
Mark
avoid,
is
avoid the trucks.
Mark is Joe
Yeah.
Rogan if Joe Rogan became vegetarian.
Imagine that. I'm everything Joe Rogan isn't. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't eat meat. Yeah. Anyway, Harmony, let's head on over to you then. Give us a little bit of a talk about independence. We want a key speech about independence here, what it means to you.
Well, I was just kind of thinking what stands out for me is how I feel when I have awareness and I wake up in the morning. Like, do I feel independent? Do I feel free of being under somebody's thumb? Do I feel free, like to the point where I'm not stifled by somebody else's bullshit energy or stifled by somebody's belief systems, stifled by somebody else's their theories on how I should be living my life? And I'm not. I mean, in a lot of ways I am still controlled by things because I still rent a house. I don't own anything, you know, and regardless, even if I did own something, I'd still be controlled by the bank in some way, shape, or form. So I think that for me, how I like to describe personal independence is just how I feel in my own skin as I move through the world every day, and less about fiduciary shit. You know what I mean? So I just feel really free. I feel really really free to be the best version that I think I want to be, and I don't feel like anybody's trying to control anything I do, and I really like that. And I feel like at the end of the day, I've got the freedom to fully let my freak flag fly, whatever that means for me, and I don't have anybody around me shaming me.
Yeah.
And actually, it's quite the opposite. I have people around me who are supporting me, and I think that gives me, because of the support, you guys and my other accountability group, and certain key people in my life that I love and that love me, it gives me the confidence to show up even more every day for the things that I want to do. And so, me having this group to come in and say, yeah, I think I'm going to switch my ebook up, and I'm going to do it for, gear it towards women that have fibroids and help them. And you guys are like, I see you guys light up. Like that's an independence that I've created in my life, because I'm surrounding myself with people that are supporting me being me. They're not going, wait, why are you doing that? So independence, the irony is that I've got a lot of independence because I have a fucking awesome support system.
And also, it's so easy not to be independent, isn't it? It's so easy to be those people in America today that are just going out and getting pissed up and eating, having a barbecue, and there's nothing the matter with that. But what I'm saying is rather than celebrating your independence as a country by going out like everybody else is and getting pissed up and why not go out for a long run, or go out and do something in the woods, or, and celebrate your independence, that you're able to get off and be independent and go out that, because there's lots of people around the world, like North Korea and like people in Russia, that haven't got that independence. How would you feel as an individual if you was in their shoes today, if you didn't have that independence, if you couldn't go on the internet and you couldn't go out for walks and you couldn't dress how you wanted to dress? How would you feel if you was in their situation, and have a real big think about that, and then ask yourself, right, what do I want in life? Where do I want to go? What's stopping me? And look at it that way.
That's terrifying. And I think I just
ask yourself if it's worth given all that privilege. Ask yourself if now's a good time to go on Twitter and start talking about transgenderism.
I'm glad you brought up privilege there, because one thing that I've said about the royal family is I hate the royal family for the simple fact that I hate in 2022 where people are born into privilege. The royal family are born into privilege, but we're all born into privilege. We are all born into privilege. How difficult is it? Like Gary Vee there said today, he says, I'm so proud that my mum and dad had sex when they did and made me, because they could have quite easily wiped it in the curtain and he wouldn't have been involved. And that, he's got his independence today from his mum and dad doing what they did. And, he's achieving what he wants in life, and
he's changing so many lives. He's changing so many lives.
Yeah. I mean, the odds of being born is 400 trillion to 1. And if you wake up in the United Kingdom or America and you draw breath, you have so much privilege and potential. And I don't ever want to hear somebody bitch about, I can't do this or I can't do that, or please, pronouns this and all the rest. Fuck off. You drew breath this morning. Don't waste my time.
I know.
Yeah.
How do you teach that? You can't teach that. It's just something they have to figure out on their own.
Self-awareness.
And that's why I do love TikTok, man. I have met some really amazing people on TikTok. And if you lean towards the proper channels on TikTok, there's some amazing people. There's this guy that I follow called the Bobtimist, but he's just the single dude, lives in Alabama. Just your average Joe, but his whole focus is sharing music, sharing positivity. All his TikToks are very positive, and he goes live and only allows positivity. But it's very down to earth too. Just no politics, no religion. And he messaged me the other day and he said, I really love your page. And he didn't have an angle. It's not like he's trying to pick me up or anything. And he just said, come into my live. I saw you pop in the other night. He's like, of course he's a good looking man. So there's a lot of women in there. And he's like, I know you coach women. Come into my live the next time I'm on and I'll talk about you. So I showed up on his live Friday night and he talked me up in there because he follows my TikTok. And I got like 20 female followers from him. And they're all women who are in need. Like they're, in need of somebody who can help with whatever negative narratives they've got, whatever bullshit. So I was like, damn, TikTok, what's going on here?
It's so powerful. This platform is morphing into something really, really powerful.
Isn't it? I've noticed that too. I was like, This
it
is
started off as
cool.
this bullshit, and now you're like, oh, this is amazing.
I mean, I
Yep.
don't want to be keep on plugging Gary Vee there tonight, but he was saying that one platform that's bigger than TikTok is LinkedIn. How that is really, 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 if you want to try and build something, LinkedIn is the way forward. It will be there for many years to come, and there's lots of money to be made and lots of things to be achieved through on LinkedIn.
I've heard that. I do need to get back on LinkedIn. I mean, it's so overwhelming. I just want to hire, because I feel like if you hire somebody to do your post, then it's not you. But then, God, you guys know it's so time consuming to get on all these things, and you can get Hootsuite and some of these accounts where it'll post everywhere for you. But it's even still, I make a TikTok because I'm feeling the desired. I'm feeling creative. I'm feeling extroverted. You know, that moment I'm sitting on the couch. I'm not doing shit. My face looks somewhat presentable, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll make a TikTok right now. And so scheduling that is really hard, because you got to do it when the whim crosses you so that it's authentic. But at the same time, I don't know. Is there lots of people have it figured out, but for me, I can't figure out how to do all of it.
No, I mean, my issue with TikTok is that, you know, it's knowing when to put the content out, being in a position where you're able to put a content out. I mean, some people can just randomly put content out on TikTok all the time. There's this one guy in the UK, and he's having a hunt for the world's best burger, and he's just out there every day on TikTok. And he'll go to a shop and he'll get a burger and he'll give a burger review. That's basically it. And he's his own self. He's a bit unusual, and he's effing this and effing that, and he's eating his burger, and it's quite amusing. But I mean,
Forward his page to me. It sounds like I would love him.
The amount of money, right, that he must spend, and the amount of food that he consumes, you know, he must be spending a fortune on his TikTok channel. Right. But for me, it's like, I never know when to put stuff out. It's planning.
I don't think it's about when. That's definitely
just
not the angle. When you feel struck to do it, do it. And if it's a time, like say, if you really want to be convicted on this when thing, and it's 2:00 in the morning and you're up and you don't want to post it, I say still post it, because there's so many people around the globe that are awake. But, I mean, shit, I've gotten on TikTok in the middle of the night when I can't sleep at 3 a.m, and it's loaded up with people that are live from all over the world. But just create it and bank it and then post it the next day. At least that's what I do. I record it in my camera and then I post it the next day.
That's the thing. For me personally, at this moment in my life, right, and it'll change, but at this moment in my life, I don't know what to put out to the world with what I'm doing on Instagram.
Why?
So, on TikTok, I don't know. I just struggle to know what content to put out. And I know you guys are going to say loads of it, but for what I do, I just struggle to say, oh, I'll put this out.
Go, Howard. Get them with your amazing TikToks you've been making.
Well, on the TikTok thing, but first thing I thought of when you said that you're not sure what to put out, if you go look at my vlogs that I put on YouTube, it's literally just saying, like the last one I had, I put Monday, June, whatever. And I just kind of give a review of what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I'm doing that is because I'm just trying to get into the habit of doing it. Like, okay, the habit of vlogging. Just put anything out there. I mean, I've watched a ton of YouTube channels where they talk about growing your channel. And the constant theme on all of them is, if you're just starting, just put anything out there just to get into the habit of it, to break that barrier of, people are going to be, I don't know about this. Just do it. And then you'll slowly find, like, okay, this is what I'm leaning more towards, like this. And then you can slowly refine it.
Well, this is interesting. It shocks me every time, because you don't know what's going to click with people and you don't know what's going to show up. So I posted my brunch from yesterday that I made, and that my favorite part was very sexual, actually. I don't know if that's just because I'm single and horny or what, but I dipped my sausage in the runny egg, and it was just so beautiful. I was like, this is beautiful. And so I made a TikTok, and then it automatically auto connects with Instagram, and I can just pop it into Instagram, right? I had, I think last time I checked, 4,000 people looked at that egg thing, and it's been less than 24 hours. I woke up, was it TikTok? It must've been Instagram. I woke up this morning on Instagram and I had it said 100 and something likes. I was like, what the fuck? What are they looking at? My egg getting dipped in the sausage, baby.
Right. Well, do you know what? I am going to say,
sausage getting dipped in the eggs.
I was about to say the sausage and the eggs.
Ooh, see, I'm horny.
I'm going to set myself a challenge, right? And I'm going to go and look at that in a minute, and I'm going to do my own sausage dipping into an egg and see if I get the same effect being a man doing it.
Well, it's funny because I post so much stuff, and I wonder like the differences between the views on TikTok and what gets a lot of attention on TikTok and the views on Instagram. They're so night and day.
Yeah.
So night and day. And I'm like, how's that work? What's that about? I got people. Let me check right now. I'm just curious how many people have looked at my egg video. It just kind of shocked me because I was like, all the shit I post and these people are digging on the egg. So let's see. 3,000 people and 110 likes on my sausage getting dipped in the egg. Is it the song? Is it the sausage? Like, I mean, what is it? How do you know?
I might do my own version with a vegetarian sausage, and I'll get the vegetarians involved and the gays and everything. It'll be completely different.
The vegetarians and the gays, or the gay vegetarians?
Well, the vegetarians being the people dipping their veggie sausages in the egg, but also being a man dipping his sausage.
Well, please bring that up on the thing. Bring your personality out, because Mark, your personality is amazing.
I was going to say, I think that I am going to use TikTok as me letting my hair down. Right, and start doing a few things like the old Boris Johnson impressions and stuff. I might just use TikTok for me being completely fucking a mentalist, and I might start it right this weekend. Me and George doing the coastal paths and put loads of TikToks out on the coastal paths, and me dunking my junk, jumping in the water with me. I've got a pair of Speedos that I'm going to wear, and I'm literally letting my flag fly high. I've got a pair of Speedos.
Please do that. I'm telling you, I've seen memes go around TikTok where people are like it's something funny, some sound bite where they're like, TikTok isn't for my friends and my family. TikTok is not for people who know me. Purely for strangers.
The thing is with George is I love him to bits, but sometimes, right, he can be the simplest person in the world. Like, I'd done a YouTube back along us on the first coastal path walk, and he got to a crossroads on the cliff top, and it said 40 that way. I don't know what it was, but he's just stood there and he's looking at the sign, and I'm like, George, it's straight on, mate. And he's still looking. I said, it's straight on, mate. And he's like, I said, it's fucking straight on, just walk. And that's the way forward, I think. He's just like, he's so funny. I love
that. Would be a funny TikTok, I think.
Yeah, because we've all got those sort of people in our life, haven't we? That, you know, you just want to pick them up and just walk them in that direction. So yeah, TikTok's coming, baby.
Good. I'm inspired. I'm inspired by people on TikTok. There's so many really amazing, funny, just like lovable, silly, crazy, kooky, like watching people's individual creativity come out on TikTok is so enjoyable for me because you can tell they're having fun.
Yeah. Are you loving TikTok, Lee?
Oh, mate, I'm loving it. I fucking love the internet. Like, yeah, there is bad shit, you know, but honestly, I'm so bullish on people, and my lad's on it, and he shows me all these memes and fucking stupid. There's a guy, I can't remember his name, but there's a guy who gets sounds like, you know, your phone ringing, and he'll play the sound of a phone ringing, and he'll just sit there and he'll go, so it goes, do, 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 and he'll just go,
just move his mouth to
and
the
it gets
sound.
millions and millions of views, and it's fucking hilarious. And he'll try and do have you ever heard of Google this Giga Chad, right? He does this where he sort of do this face, and they're trying to and they're pulling these faces and doing stupid memes, and I'm dying laughing, and I just think the internet is amazing.
It is, because like TikTok is so fun, and I laugh when I'm on there, and of course there's plenty of places you can go in the TikTok universe that are depressing and sad and all those things, but if you're looking, you're going to find what you're looking for regardless on any platform. It doesn't matter what platform you're talking about. But for me, TikTok has been such a fun way for me to be kind of flirty without like trying to be dirty about it. And like, it's been fun for me to just get on there and do some lip syncing, and just really, it's been a really good testing ground for me to see what I love and what feels good coming out of my natural personality. It's been like a testing ground, right?
See if you can hear this.
Alan, fucking hell, bro, I can't get my words out. The weekend is still catching up with me. Let's fucking go. Okay, that shit looks fucking incredible, man.
Is that the burger guy?
I've just sent him to you, and
good.
You love him or hate him. He is called #Bradley. @tag_Bradley.
And this is TikTok.
Yeah, I've sent him to you, and
Okay,
let
good.
people hate him. He really, really makes fun and has a laugh about doing food reviews from his takeaways, and he's just, some of the stuff that he's done is fucking hilarious. Like he'll do one test where he'll bite into a burger, and he says, right, I'm going to try and do a bite in one, and he'll try and swallow the whole just and swallow it in the whole, and he's like a seagull trying to swallow a chicken bone. He's like, oh, he's like making a right mess of it. But
Oh, I'm gonna love this guy. He's doing kebabs.
yeah, he does kebab. He started off with burgers. He does McDonald's, kebabs, all takeaway food, and he's hilarious. He really, really does make me laugh.
Well,
But
that's
Has anybody seen the Wrap King?
no.
So he gets food and he just basically puts it in a wrap, and it creates these amazing, they're like fucking massive wraps. So
Oh,
he'll
man, I'm
buy a
hungry.
McDonald's, and then he'll put he'll wrap it, or a KFC or whatever, fucking anything, and he just wraps it. Fucking amazing.
It's just so easy to get on TikTok and consume shit for a good
Mhm.
hour, and before you know it, an hour's gone. And you just
So
watch it.
true.
That's why it's called TikTok. TikTok,
Oh.
motherfucker.
Well,
Like-
we need Rodney, and I want, because he's got skills when it comes to that, as far as loving. He enjoys playing, tinkering around with that, and it's something I want to bring to the Folly Girls podcast when Alice gets where she's settled somewhere and we can start recording again. But I would love to have him add in clips, like we can all bring our favorite TikTok, to the end of the show every Monday, or pick a couple TikToks or Instagram reels that we want to share with the globe.
Yep.
That aligns with us that week or something. I think it would be so fun for us to start sharing some things like that on here and just make it a little bit more digital, more interactive.
Yeah, I think we should do a TikTok of the week, and we should
Yeah.
we should come on here and talk about one TikToker that we found and give them a shout out and see where it goes.
Oh, that's a good idea. Because I bet they have a YouTube channel too.
Yeah. Well, we'll round that up here, guys, because it's been a great episode. I've really, really enjoyed it. It's been funny. And we're talking about independence. The internet is another one that has made us so independent. Thinking about the days when you had the first AOL and you the dial up, and your mum would pick up the phone at the other end and tell you to get off. And the independence wasn't there then. Your mum and dad was telling you to get off. And now, 20 years down the line, you're able to pick up your mobile phone and be independent and watch what you want, when you want, with who you want, about anything. You don't have to go to libraries anymore. Everything is at your fingertips on that phone. You cannot be any more independent in the world than that thing called the mobile phone.
So
You know?
true.
I think that's
So
a great way
powerful.
to end the
It's crazy.
episode.
Love it.
So round us off then. What are you looking forward to this coming weekly? What are you going to be doing that you're looking forward to?
Well, I'm not going to be looking forward to it, but finishing this. But when it's done, I can take a step back and go, I fucking did that.
Sweet. Howard, what about you, mate? What are you looking forward to achieving this week?
Getting the vials and then sending out the samples to Harmony, Rodney, Hussein, Albert, and with the gym down the street. I got some
I'm
people
so
here at the apartment that are workout fiends that I'll give it to them to try it. And then,
Amazing.
see where it goes from there. See what flavor that overall what people like.
Don't tell them what flavor it is. See if they can work out what the flavor is. That'll be
That's
interesting.
another good idea too.
Yeah,
See
and
if
when
they
they
can
say,
work it out
when they say, "Oh, it's orange," no, that's not. That's Howard's sperm flavor. I made this.
right there. Yeah,
Tell them what it is.
it tastes like orange for all you ladies out there. It tastes like orange.
What about you, Harmony?
Sour gummy patch.
What are you looking forward to achieving this week?
I'm working on the book again. Obviously, I'm mixing up the recipes that I had lined up for that. Still doing 12 recipes, but obviously they're going to be tweaked. And just working my butt off. I've got a friend flying in on Friday, so I'm really excited to get to spend some time with him and just blow it out after a long work week.
Yeah.
Balance,
Awesome.
work and fun.
Sweet. Me,
What about you, Mark?
coastal path walking, producing some TikToks, and dunking my junk in Speedos and sharing it with the world.
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
And being sucked off by a dolphin. Anyway,
Well, just know I'm going to duet anything that if you do something in a Speedo, I'm going to duet it. So
ooh.
I'm excited.
Right, that's it, guys. Stay safe, stay classy. Thank you for watching us. For all the people in the world that's been watching us or listening to us, please don't forget to get online and tell us what you want us to talk about next week. You can send us all an email, ask us a question, official5deep@gmail.com, and spread the word.
Peace out. Whoop, whoop. I'm always trying to